Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Etheria Restart video. So we're back on the free-to-play, guys, and since I last saw you, we've got up to level 36, which means that we unlocked Nico Nana, and I thought Nico Nana, I thought we were going to have to build up new characters. I talked about Viper. We still haven't gotten Ling Luo yet. Ling Luo comes tomorrow, which is going to allow us to then start kind of building things a little bit more efficiently for Doki Doki and Aurora. Ling Luo is going to be a game changer for us. So we're 6 days in, right? We're 6 days in, and we've already got 2 mythic shells. And that is just something that I didn't think we were going to be able to do. Now, I haven't upgraded any of my characters yet to show you what the actual team was that beat this. And it was this. So it was 2 rares, Valerian. Now, if you don't have Valerian, right? A lot of people haven't pulled her. If you're trying to do free to play 100%, just like as a challenge, then yeah, I think the route that you can go here is you can just wait until Ling Luo drops. Like it's 1 day later, right? Uh, Other than that, I think RC77 is a great option here as well. I think any of the buffers like Dorothy the Wisher, any of the debuffers like Dinah or Viper here are really, really nice. I don't think you need a healer at this stage because Kachi ends up being able to control these side ads well enough where you don't take too much damage. And the Vice ends up taunting Nico Nana. So he's the only one truly taking any damage. And then in the end, he's healing himself back up because he has that on his passive. But Leon has just been such an overperformer for me. It's one of those things where I'm just like, man, I wonder how far or, like, I wonder how well I would have progressed on my main account if I didn't reset her. Like that's an interesting thing for me right now because I've just been really impressed with her damage. I continue to say that. But yeah, this was the team. So what I ended up doing, I just farmed a bunch of uh Nightmare, whether it was Nightmare 2 or 3, because I could eventually get up to Nightmare 3 and I just have all outstanding gear, right? I got all outstanding gear. I do have a Onslaught Battle Will Twilight Knight, so I'm getting some additional 10% bonuses here. But these are her stats. She's got a couple of the lattice upgrades here, and that's what we did. Now, Kachi and Vice's gear is just so bad, but Kachi does have his skill 3 fully skilled up, and he is on some Swift Rush. But the reason why I wanted to show you this gear is because I can make some really big upgrades to these characters uh, after, I show this run. And this run is not 100%. It's probably close to 70 because it does depend on the Kachi stuns. Vice here has his skill 3 fully leveled. He's got some into his passive because he can purify a debuff. Nico Nana puts up some debuffs on you, and then he also has some of the lattices going into his skill 1. Vice is going to be skilled 555, and then Kachi is going to be skilled 5. Oh well, let's go backwards. We'll do this 555 and then Kachi is going to be 515. We don't need to sink too much into her. And then Valerian, we're eventually going to skill this out. This is our next priority. Right now, we're farming prowess material, which is a pain at this stage. Like the early level, accounts, prowess is brutal. So this is a long kind of run, but Valerian is going to be used in Aurora, Doki, and Terramaton. And she's going to be in most of my shell dungeon teams too. So she's next. So yeah, I wanted to just show this run and show that, other than the Valerian, like we are using characters that the game gives you for free Two of them are rares, and then the other one is that SSR that they give you at the start, and they give you the lattices. They give you, multiple copies of her to increase her prowess there. But you see, like the Twilight Knight is uh, a big damage boost. We got the taunt from the Vice, and we got another taunt from the Vice, which is awesome. It just really helps keep our team healthy. The red Kachi, the reason why we want to skill up the skill one is because it also has turn meter pushback. That is such a huge thing early game. Once you get into like the hell stages and inferno stages of like the threshold dungeons, turn meter pushback isn't as strong. So maybe we find a different option later on. But I still think like hell one, hell two, maybe even hell three, we're still going to be able to use red Kachi. And then red Kachi is going to go away for a little bit, and then he'll make a return whenever we start speed running things. So here, this is where stuff's getting close. But as long as we can get some decent debuffs on these characters, Vice could eventually heal up our team. So we did not get a taunt there. So this is going to be really close. And so he did get the stun, but we got the taunt on the boss and we got stuns on the side ads. Okay. So this, we might end up clearing this. This is going to be a big hit. Oof. Yeah. It's a good thing we got a stun on the side ads there. I don't know. Okay. We got the taunt. That's important. You see how much health the Vice has on himself. So that's a big thing. If they end up going for the Leon here, we might be in trouble. Okay, a little bit of healed back up. But you see the taunts from Vice are just so huge there because if we didn't land any of those taunts, we probably would have been a goner. Now, I don't know if he can clutch this by himself. He does. It's big. So yeah, there you go. Like I said, not 100% or anything like that, but our main goal now, once we're done with this prowess stuff, is we are just going to farm the heck out of Nico Nana to build up our shells. So we've got one of the White Fang shells built up, but we still need to re-roll his passives. Once we do that, this might be a little more consistent. And then we're going to start leveling up our character's gear on like the Vice and the Red Kachi to make sure that we can clear here. The other thing that we might do, I don't know yet, but we might, is take out the Valerian and put in Ling Luo. We'll see how much that does for us. There's also like a slight possibility that you could take out the Vice, but the thing is Ling Luo adds those whale prayer buffs to Leon, so she kind of has similar purposes as Valerian, except it's going to be safer because you get consistent heals. And you already have the attack up from the Red Kachi. So that's what we've done. Now we've pulled a lot of really good SR characters, which we may end up building in the future. I kind of want to just ride the Leon train and see how far she can get us, though, instead of building up a character like Didding, because we all know Didding is very, very good. And if I can save a little bit of like energy for not building him up right now, uh, I think I might. Uh, like the thing is I'm so far away from Aurora being a thing right now because I need to build up Viper, I need to build up Sybil, I need to build up Ling Luo. Like there's just too many things, and that's where Didding I think could be a better replacement for Sybil. But Sybil is such an easier character to build. So I don't know if I'm going to build Diting. I've got some really nice options here. So like all of these characters are very interesting to me. Nell for sure for the AoE speed up. Kazami for the cooldown reduction, although I really think she shines whenever you have another one of the cooldown reduction heroes. And we all know that I'm not going to be using Tsukiyomi and I'm not going to be using Mia. So Uh, we're going to use, I think we're going to build up Nell for sure. She seems to be a really nice option for speed clearing. She does have a little bit of overlap with Dinah, which I think is very important on this account because she's the only like decent damage amp character. You do have Nell, which pairs well with Gray because you have the vulnerable and then you have the defense down on Gray. I think she's going to be very important for my Doki Doki team. Um, but Viper certainly needs to be built. Obel's going to be very important later on for like Shadow Flame Hoyon and things like that. I think I'm going to run him alongside the Red Kachi. I think RC77 might be a buildup. And then Red Rin, I think, is going to be very, very important for Rengo Kutsu. So yeah, we've pulled some really good characters, which is awesome. But like I said, it's the prowess grind that's pretty brutal. We've also been able to consistently, like this is 100% run on Terramaton. This is 100% run on Doki Doki. So we are getting all guaranteed outstanding gear here. And what we're doing is after we're done with the prowesses, we're just farming up those shells because we're going to need mythic shells to break into hell. It's gonna be very important. So we're just pressing on here. We need a lot of light prowess material because after reset, we're going to be building up our Vice fully as well as the Valeria. So someone also brought up a question on how am I getting, like, how did I get a 6-star so fast? So I somewhat referenced this in the last video or the video before it, but all of these shop items, I know a lot of people are prioritizing the perfect lattice shards for sure and like the evolution lattices. But one of the things that I've been prioritizing is like the red shadow print. Now, I know that makes sense for the Union shop as it's arguably the second best thing here uh, behind the perfect lattice shard. But on the summon shop as well, I prioritize that red shadow print uh, over evolution lattices or the perfect lattice. So that's how I'm doing that. Also, on the summon arena, for this reset, I bought all of the orange shadow prints, and 8 of the orange shadow prints equal 2 of the red ones that get you up to the 6-star. So I'm just prioritizing things that I know are going to increase the power level of my damage dealers. 6-starring Gray and 6-starring Leon were super key to allow me to beat Terramaton and Doki Doki because Gray is your main damage dealer in Doki Doki. I didn't do anything with the anima shops. Now, since the latest update from this game, this module shop ends up getting upgraded. I don't know at what level, maybe at level 40 on my account, but there's 2 different types of module shops. And once you start beating hell, like as soon as you start going into hell, you get these module essences, and there are some really good pieces of gear if you save up 1,500 of these. So I can get like one really solid piece of gear. That's going to be interesting. I also, like I said, I got this from that module farming event that they just released. So I have a nice harvest piece waiting here whenever I can farm that because I said I'm not going to use it beforehand. And I also crafted a awesome crit damage keen eye set, which we'll get whenever we start farming Hell 1 on Terramaton, which I think I'm close. So I'll just show you my module teams real quick, the Terramaton and the Doki Doki. So we're using Valerian here. We have the Kazuya Reverie, really decent effect accuracy, skill 3 fully leveled, and her speed is cooking. We do have Leon in here because she still is okay on Nightmare 3. Once we get to Hell, I don't think she's going to cut it. I think she's just going to die too fast. I also replaced Kachi because I was using him as well with Valerian. So this is a really nice team. For replacements, whenever we get into Hell, I think what's going to like get the job done is replacing Leon with Ling Luo. So you have double healers here. It's going to be a long run, but between the revive from Sonya on the Gray and the Kazuyo just controlling, I think it's going to be a pretty simple clear on Hell 1. Hell 2, still probably iffy, but yeah, once you can farm Hell 1, you can get mythic pieces of gear, and that's wherever our account then takes the next step. So between Valerian's shields, her increase to our like buffs with Gray getting attack up and things like that, like he's doing 11,000 on his uh, basic attack, which is really cool. And even though the Leon does, a little bit of damage here, it's still enough damage output just to farm Nightmare 3. And she will be the target here, her or Valerian, because she is the negative affinity. Although sometimes the RNG and the AI is a little wonky here. But you see, we have things on a really nice turn cooldown with the Kazuyo and how quickly we can like clear the first wave. So we take off the damage reduction buff from uh, the enemies here because you need the crowd control. For those of you who don't know that. So, I mean, you can see here, this is a very kind of like safe, clean run, I think. We have two damage dealers. So if one goes down, we have another one to kind of just pick up the slack until the Sonya ends up reviving them. And we have constant crowd control from the Kazuyo. So yeah, after we get out of here, I'll show you Terramaton and then we're going to be gone. And then the next time you see me, we're going to have Ling Luo built up a little bit. And we'll just progress from there. And I'll show you one quick snapshot of our hyperlink charter because I think we're doing pretty good on that as well. We're hard stuck on some of the content, but I think whenever we break into Hell 1 and also get some of the mythic shells leveled up, we should be able to clear some of these things, as well as the upgrades to Valerian to start with the Hazy Dream. I think that's going to be a big thing. So, yeah, run's almost done here. This is where Gray is just, he's doing a lot of work, really good damage. And our Leon as well is just, even though she's negative affinity, just doing really solid damage. So, yeah, I was very pleased to see how quickly, we were progressing through this content, within 6 days. So we're almost at Hell with just one SSR right now, which is Leon, right? So this is our Nightmare team, which I think is quite good. So we're replacing Kazuyo and we're replacing Valerian. But once the Valerian has her skill 3 fully maxed, prowessed out, we will switch her out. But right now, it's just way too beneficial for us to have the attack down from the Vice as well as the turn meter push because it is not nerfed yet on Nightmare like it is on Hell. So that's where like the turn meter pushback and stuff like that is not as beneficial. But we just get some really just impressive damage from the Leon. We don't even need to target the left side head if we didn't want to because the AoEs from her skills were just going to take him out. So you get some of the healing from Vice, which is another kind of like cherry on top with this team. But I still think we're going to replace him with the Valerian just, for additional shields, additional bulk. And the other item that I don't know if I'm going to have to change or not is I might have to replace Gray. On the Hell stages, he just might be a little too squishy, especially how I have him built. So yeah, we'll see. But we get really good damage out of Leon. We get really great heals out of Sonya. I'll have to eventually skill her up as well. But as soon as that left head is gone, the boss doesn't do too much damage. So yeah, a nice minute run, and again, just more outstanding gear. So that is the update, guys. Where we're stuck is on Anti-Sync Echo's Dahlia. We're stuck on hard. We haven't tried it yet, but This whole boss revolves around giving yourself additional buffs. So once our Valerian starts with the Hazy Dream, I think we're going to be able to clear this pretty good. Um, so we're stuck there. Uh, and then we need to start farming Hell and Mythic pieces for the module modification. We need 2 SSR Animus to level 45. So once we get Ling Luo tomorrow, that's what's going to happen there. And then I think once we get Ling Luo, Nico Nana Hell is going to be within range, especially since we're going to have like 1 Artisan Shell built up and we'll have that White Fang built up for our Leon. So getting a big boost here. And then we're just cruising along on the arena stuff. Arena isn't too bad. One thing I did do, which I don't know if it's the right thing or not, but I did use gems to get extra ticket currency because we were close to the end of the season. And I want to try and push as much as I can to get these rank up rewards because getting, like a purple lattice will be really nice. I don't think we'll be able to reach master, but, the currency is what's important. And if we can get into diamond and sneak in here for the crystals and the currency, this is a big thing. Being able to buy this stuff, the micro lattices are so important for us right now. And then eventually, I think we're going to use a lot of our currency on the Etheria coin and training data. This is one of the benefits of not having to worry about too many SSRs on this challenge is you can, use your currencies in a bunch of different areas. So yeah, that's all I got, guys. That is the whatever episode this is update. I've been very, very pleased with the progress of this account, having a lot of fun. And yeah, that's all I got for you. So appreciate you watching. Catch you on the next one. See ya.